So you might be familiar with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974, loosely based on the exploits of serial killer Ed Gein. But not everyone's aware that a more accurate and superior portrayal made it into theatres the very same year. So 1974's Deranged is an effective little Canadian-made shocker starring Robert Blossom, best remembered as the scary old man in Home Alone. So the premise of this one closely follows the real-life narrative of Wisconsin ghoul Ed Gein, and it's remarkably faithful to the real-life American horror story. Ezra Cobb is a simple country boy with a domineering bedridden mother who preaches fire and brimstone to the poor impressionable lad when she isn't keeping him busy with the day-to-day running of the farm. So Ezra's mum is quite the religious zealot, to say the least, and she warns her son against getting romantically involved with the fairer sex. Mama might be bedridden, but she's pretty feisty nonetheless, and she constantly offers pearls of wisdom like the wages of sin being syphilis and gonorrhea. It's quite the community service announcement from Mama, to say the least. So needless to say, Mama's done a bit of a number on her only child Ezra, really rewired his brain, and a feeble brain it is. And even though he's middle-aged, he's still the quintessential mama's boy in this movie. His mother's his entire world. All poor Ezra does is look after mama, tend to the farm, and do the odd job around town for a bit of extra money. So one day mama dies in bed after regurgitating a heap of blood while Ezra's feeding her soup and watching helplessly by her side. And this causes poor Ezra to have a bit of a psychotic break, and he descends into a personal madness of grave robbing and murder that'll shock his rural farming community to the core. So Deranged, much like Psycho or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, is of course based upon the stranger-than-fiction real-life story of the Wisconsin ghoul Ed Gein. And Robert Blossom's pretty amazing as the pinhead par excellence, Ezra Cobb. He doesn't just play this role by any means, he also inhabits it, quite like Joaquin Phoenix or Daniel Day-Lewis, so he inhabits the role of the eccentric Ezra Cobb in a performance that transcends everything you'd expect from a low-budget Canadian horror film. So Ezra has a ton of great lines in the movie, which make Deranged just as successful as a black comedy. Dark gallows humour is an effective little chiller. And at one point, one character's talking about carnal pleasures, and Ezra excitedly gasps, "Carnival?" He's no doubt excited about the prospect of dodgem cars, Ferris wheels, and fairy floss. So Deranged is full of quotable lines. Tonally, it's a blend of highly effective black comedy, gallows humour, and grimy atmospheric horror. The whole thing feels cold and wintry and ominous, and really does need those slivers of comic relief to get you through the movie. So this is a cracker of a movie, easily one of the most effective horror movies of the 70s, one of the unsung horror movies of the 70s. Personally, I consider it to be a better film than Psycho or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre when it comes to movies inspired by this same true crime story of Ed Gein. And Robert Blossom's remarkable as Ezra Cobb. He steals every scene he appears in, and of course he has all the best lines, as you'd expect. And I reckon Deranged would probably make a perfect double bill with Bloodsucking Freaks, which was similarly dark, gallows humour, shocking, all the rest. And something nice to enjoy with this one might be a nice Cobb salad, because you don't really want to be eating barbecue or anything like that while watching Deranged. And you might want to wash it down with a Brandy Alexander, which I think I recall Ezra ordering at a bar in one scene, because he doesn't really drink. So that, my friends, is Deranged. A lot of social commentary in this one, mainly about loneliness and social isolation. Ezra's mum is his entire world, and he doesn't know what to do without her, has no connection to the outside world, like a lot of people these days, with people living online and so on and so forth. So Deranged, even though it was made in a pre-internet era, it does have a lot of the same, cover a lot of the same issues of the epidemic of loneliness, detachment from reality, and all of the other issues that seem to plague us in these troubled times. And Ezra's worldview is formed by his mother. She also sort of tethers him to an extent to what little reality he or her are experiencing alone on the farm together. They have no connection to the outside world, no connection to wider morality or anything like that. Ezra's mama has her own sort of stringent morality that she really drums into her son, beats into her son, and that's all he's ever known. So it really is little wonder that Ezra didn't really have much of a hope of not becoming a psychotic serial killer, I guess. So he's very much seems to be a case of nurture rather than nature, although nature played a little bit of a role being so isolated, I guess. So as I said, that is Deranged from 1974. It's probably my favourite movie based on the real-life exploits of Ed Gein. There is, of course, Psycho and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and there's been multiple different biopics varying in accuracy and quality. But this one's probably the pick of the litter, purely for Robert Blossom's wonderful performance as the very feeble-minded, very disturbed Ezra Cobb. And fairly easy to find if you're looking to watch it. It's fairly widely available on streaming services and things like that, physical media. And incidentally, the story's being remade once again by Ryan Murphy for Netflix as part of his, I guess, his serial killer series. So he's making a Netflix series about Ed Gein, which premieres fairly soon. And that'll be quite interesting, but I highly doubt that it will surpass Deranged as the premier adaptation of this very dark true crime story. So thanks for joining me here at Fulci Metal Jacket. If this is your first time and you're enjoying the content you'd like to revisit, please like, share and subscribe. If you're back again after seeing a previous review, thanks for joining me again. I'd be keen to hear any comments that you have on Deranged or on any of these Ed Gein movies in the comments. And as always, please like, share and subscribe. Help a fella out. And yeah, basically that's Deranged from 1974. So I'm off to enjoy the rest of my day. And I hope you do too. And I really do look forward to seeing you next time.